Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to 40 Something Fit Dad. I'm your host, Darren Ross. Welcome to episode number 7. It's my second interview, and today's interview is with Brenton Pirihi. Brenton is my wife Tali's cousin. I've known him for close to 20 years. He's a great guy. He's had a challenging year this year. He's challenged himself, and it's a really great story. If you want to know about body transformations, dealing with a little bit of adversity, then definitely listen into the interview. I'm day 5 into my 7-day challenge, so I haven't been on social media. I've been exercising, getting some really good sleep, and really enjoying it. I'll definitely share that in episode 8. But settle in and enjoy the interview with Brenton. Have a great weekend. Peace.
Yeah, there you go. Damn it. Ruined my... Anyway, bro. How you been?
Good, Cuzzy. No, I've been good, Been really good. It's been a bit of a crazy year, everything going on. COVID-19 and all that jazz. And...
Yeah, shit. So how's... I know you, but you got to explain... You got to tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how I know you.
Yeah. Sweet as. My name's Brenton Pirihi. 37 years old. I've got 3 beautiful children, 2 daughters, 8 and 5, and a wee little son there. He's 4. So over to my ex-partner Crystal of about 15 years, and kind of born and raised in Auckland, pretty much. Little stints here and there, like in the Coromandel, and a little stint up north in the homeland in Ruakaka, Takihiwai there. And how I know you as is, you're married to my lovely cousin Tali.
She's not here, bro. It's all right.
No. Shared many good times with you, brother.
Awesome.
Either over family events or hanging out most Christmases, I guess, Christmas and New Year's and stuff, and yeah, bro. Yeah,
awesome.
That's a little bit about me, my backstory.
Now, you've turned in the last year. Like, I haven't seen you because we went with you in Christmas sort of last year, so I haven't seen you for a bit. But I've been following you on Facebook, and you've just taken this fitness thing to another level, man. Do you want to? What's your routine? What do you got into?
Yeah. Oh man, it's been a good year in that respect. Like I've taken up a lot of stuff I didn't really look too much into before, and kind of really enjoyed it. I guess at the end of last year, I kind of over Christmas and New Year's and stuff, I kind of need to turn a corner and sort some things out in my life to I guess improve myself to to kind of become the best person that I can be, especially for my children. So I started so in about January this year, end of January, I kind of jumped on the scales, and I was like, mate, you kind of hit, I think it was around about 140 or just under 140 kgs, and that was a bit of a wake up call for me. For a long time I'd kind of been telling people like, oh yeah, 125, or 130, keep creeping up there. But when I actually jumped on the scales and saw where I was at, it was a huge reality check. So decided to do something about it. I found online. I've always kind of known that this place was there, but never really looked too much into it. But it has always been something I've been interested in getting into. And I found Oliver MMA gym based down in New Lynn there, Auckland, and started doing their boot camps. So boot camps were running 3 days a week. So it was like Tuesday morning, Thursday morning, Saturday morning. Thursday morning was like 6 or 7, so it kind of fit in perfectly. It was like just before work and still gave me time to to drop my daughters off at school, and then that Saturday morning, it's like 8 till 9, so it's kind of good. It was a really good way to kickstart my Saturday, and get me motivated. And from there, I guess I became really interested in the other things that I've seen in this gym. Like, it's full mixed martial arts gym, and it's run by a small guy named Steve Oliver, son of Don Oliver, who's synonymous in the fitness industry, and Steve Oliver himself is world champion Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu professor these days. So and I started kind of looking into that, inspired a fair bit by my two trainers. Two trainers are like these two 22-year-old guys, and I guess the way they carried themselves was inspirational, in the sense that I kind of thought of myself at 22 and thought, man, like how different would it have been for me had I had like the vision and clarity and I guess the direction in life that these guys had at such a young age, and they were teaching people who were twice their age and big classes and kids and things like that, and these guys give so much of their time that it was kind of hard not to be inspired by these young guys, and I guess that from that I kind of thought that obviously it's a good place to be around. These guys have kind of inspired me, and the other people in my boot camp as well kind of really helped push me towards reaching my. And so from that, I branched out into I dabbled in a bit of kickboxing. We kind of had this schedule there kind of clashed with my ex-partner's fitness regime and stuff. So try to make it work by taking the kids with me. It was 7 o'clock at night, so it's a bit of a big ask to ask 3 kids who had just had a long day to kind of sit still for the next hour and not be yelling out to daddy and not running on the mat shoes and all that sort of jazz. So I decided to drop the kickboxing and then moved on to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is like the alternating nights. So it's been it's been interesting, man, an interesting journey. I didn't think I'd enjoy it as much as I do, but I've learnt a hell of a lot, just in the way, I guess, in not only handle and carry myself, but in like a lot of little techniques that have kind of helped me within life as well, and also it's helped, I guess, put me back on track mentally as well. I was a bit kind of the old mind was a bit foggy there for a bit, and a bit down. So all of that kind of, when I pump all of that energy into that, it kind of leaves me no energy to really worry about anything else. So I started doing that with those guys. That's also what's that? That's like 3 a week as well. So that's on Tuesdays and Thursdays I do boot camp in the morning, and then I go back in the afternoon from like 6 or 7 and do another jiu-jitsu class. And then on Friday night, in the past month, I've recently taken up like wrestling classes as well. So just trying to mix it up a bit, and kind of get that takedown game on point. And then on Saturday after boot camp, there's I've got it's a jiu-jitsu and self-defense class, and then that's followed by beginner and intermediate jiu-jitsu gi class, where you got to wear full karate gi, I guess. Picture Cobra Kai, obviously. It's horrible. It's like rolling around in wearing a bloody duvet, but I'm only I'm wondering, obviously with summer fast approaching, it's getting a lot warmer. It's only going to get even more horrible. So bring on those sweaty sessions. But yeah, man, it's pretty much been my fitness journey. I'm around about. I was, like I said, I was 140, and I'm now down to 105. I was this morning when I jumped on the scales. So got a little bit to go to where I want to be at. Not looking to get big or jacked or anything, and just really just really looking to be lean and well, they say lean and explosive, man. So yeah, and just kind of
that was all this year.
Yeah, that was all this year. So and obviously with COVID and stuff, our gym was shut for a massive part of that. So what was that? We went into the first lockdown in March. I think it was end of March. Yeah, that was that was scary because obviously I'd had like kind of 3 months run at it, and I was really getting comfortable with like my progress and where I was at. So I was really worried in the sense that I guess would I have the grit in my own mind to carry on and do it by myself. So which I found out I did actually, like over those what was it, 2 months we were in lockdown. Yeah, while other people were putting on 10 kgs, I kind of plugged away with all the things that the boys had taught me in boot camp, and kind of applied them to myself at home. Plus, took jumped online, jumped on YouTube, Google, things like that. Got a couple of kettlebells, bloody plyo box, and a few other bits and pieces. The old what we call it, the old evil wheel, the old ab wheel. It hasn't given me any abs yet, but it's we're working on it. Just kind of plugged away at that, and while other people were putting on 10 kgs, I managed to lose 10 kgs. So I guess a massive driving force for me behind that was that first kind of what always rolls over in my mind is that that first week at boot camp there, man. It was horrible. Like
I was just going to ask you that, man. How go back to the start of the year. You looked at those scales, 140 kegs, and you decided to sign up, go for that first introductory, introductory week, or was it introductory class, or how was it?
It was actually a 12-week.
One of those. Yeah. Yep. How was your first session, or how did you feel?
Oh man, first session I threw up. I was out in the car park. I think we were doing like bag carries or something like that, followed by sprints, and then I just found the closest drain to me and just let it all out. And then wow, I think that first week work was horrible, man. I couldn't bend down, couldn't like freaking bend my knees, back was killing me. Just everything was just felt like it was just shutting down. And you kind of just had to power through it. You'd have days where you're like, you drop a pen. I don't really need that pen.
I'll remember.
I know another one is Joe to bend over, but at the time, because my job involves kind of bending over a fair bit to pick boards up and stuff off the ground. So it was absolutely horrible, man. And I kind of, it always plays over in my mind as well when we have these breaks. Like, you never want to kind of feel like that again. It was it's just going backwards really. So especially now where I'm at a point where it all feels quite comfortable as well. So so I'm just kind of stacking on top of that. But that first week, bro, absolutely killer.
So do you recommend, this is one of the things, like I've told like a lot of friends our age, we can sort of say now, that sort of saying, oh, should I join a gym, all that sort of stuff. I think like boot camps and things in groups are ideal, especially for beginners.
No, definitely, man. Like I used to do the gym thing many moons ago, but I guess the times that I enjoyed it the most was when I had a friend with me. So me and my mate Hayden, we used to go, every day after work and stuff. And then I think what happened was he ended up moving to the Gold Coast, and I tried to go a few more times by myself. I just couldn't get that motivation, man. It was just felt boring, and like I kind of couldn't push myself to want to do it. And I guess the best thing that I found with these classes, I highly recommend these class environments because just I guess the people that you're around, you got people that are kind of the same as you. Like I've got there's a couple of people that signed up at the same time I did to this block, and we're really good mates now. We kind of when we see each other at classes, it kind of gives us that lift because like we know that we've both been on that journey together. and it kind of pushes you even harder. And then the whole crew is quite supportive as well. All walks of life, man. Big, tall, skinny, short, big, big, and yeah, everyone kind of drives and pushes each other like hard. And then you tell yourself, I'm gonna slog it out. It's only an hour of my life. I'm gonna slog it out for an hour. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna get through this by myself. I'm gonna gruel through it. There are other people that are suffering just like me for the hour. And then after that hour, the day is yours. And it's amazing how much, like, even I've noticed the difference on the days where I have boot camp before I start work. I just feel, I guess, more energized and a lot different as a person, more upbeat, I guess. Whereas, sometimes those mornings where I have the morning off and stuff, it takes a little while to kind of fire up the oven, mate.
Yeah, that's it. You feel good for that, that 10, 15 minutes sleep in or whatever, but you always feel better after, you drag yourself out of bed and get yourself to a class. It takes a bit to get into it, but yeah, like you say, afterwards, the day is yours, man. And the good thing, like with those group situations as well, like I did a lot of CrossFit, like the coaches there, like are qualified coaches. You're not sort of doing it by yourself as well. And if you're there, I don't know if you notice, like if you're there for ages and you have new people coming in, who've probably been in your situation, how you were a couple of months ago, you tend to encourage them and get them along the way, which I reckon is awesome about any sort of group, fitness sort of thing, or HIIT or whatever I want to call it. It's an awesome feeling that you can sort of pass on what was given to you when you started out.
No, you're exactly right, bro. You're exactly right. I mean, it's over this year, I've seen a lot of people kind of, you see those people come and they turn up and they kind of come to one or two and then they just disappear. You never see them again.
Yeah, that's it. That's the trick. Every time, like with CrossFit, if I have there's a guy and a newbie there and he's cooked laying on the ground or whatever, you just get him up and see you tomorrow sort of thing, and just give them that little bit of. It's a really cool thing, man. And how long did you, like, when you started to when it was lockdown? How long were you going to boot camp? Was it just strictly boot camp, or were you branching out into the other stuff?
Yeah. It was mainly boot camp, and I think it started with they do this like trial passes where you do you can do four classes at any particular time, and stuff. Kind of dabbled with a few of those trials. Just before the first lockdown, then went into lockdown, and then came out of lockdown. Kind of started going more frequently to jiu-jitsu and stuff, and actually before the last lockdown, I guess, finally bit the bullet and signed up, got my membership, got my gi and all that, and
just before you get into that, just before lockdown, how were you, like you're saying that you're a little bit, how were you feeling, like knowing that the safety of the class wasn't there and you had to sort of rely on your own drive to sort of not go back to the start of the year? You didn't want to waste that work. How were you feeling? How was the motivation? Oh, how were you feeling internally?
I was pretty worried, man. I had been, I'd already kind of been plugging away at home a lot anyway, I guess, on the in between days. So it kind of, that definitely helped me. But I was really worried that I'd kind of lose track and lose progress, because I was actually getting to a point, I guess, before that first lockdown where I was starting to see the changes. Not only physically but like mentally and in all aspects and stuff. And especially when you're getting told by people, like, mate, like, from Christmas to now, like, I see massive changes in you, not only your appearance but the way that you kind of carry yourself and stuff these days as well. So that was my main fear, I guess, just kind of kind of keeping all that up and losing the progress that I'd made, because it's so easy into those traps. I guess another good thing that came out of lockdown was that takeaways are closed, mate.
Oh, there you go. No,
Yeah. So
that's probably a good thing for for the whole country, I reckon. Probably,
definitely, mate. No more Uber Eats, no more city food. So, and I'd kind of turned my eating around at the beginning of this year anyway, and had done a lot in that department. So yeah, so it wasn't too bad. I was definitely worried at first, but I kind of knew in my head that if I carried on doing what I was doing and plugging it away, like, yeah, man, I'll come out the other side of it a lot better off. And I did, because when boot camps kind of fired up after that lockdown, like, it was like bang, like there was basically a new me walking through the door, because I was coming back 10 kgs lighter. I kept my fitness up, so I was ready to just hit the ground running. Whereas, there are a few like slow firers there. Who kind of let the lockdown gains get to them. Even our trainers were like bloody twice the size. But because over that period, all they were focusing on was just bulking up, on muscle, and then now they're back into fight season again. So they've leaned out. It's actually quite amazing to see the transformation that goes on with these fighters, man. Like it's insane what they put their bodies through.
Is that why it's sort of seeing that? Do you reckon that's because I want to get into BJJ as well? I think there's something about it. You talked about the mental game and preparation. That's something that I want to get in. Now, seeing those guys and seeing sort of those your coaches and those sort of class of fighters, is that why you sort of wanted to get into jiu-jitsu, or is just wanted to, you've got all this energy now and you're feeling good about it, you just wanted another challenge, or what was
I guess that's mainly it, man. It's something I'd been interested in for years, but never actually, I guess I was always too scared to kind of take that first step to kind of seek it out, I've never been, what's the best way to put it? Like I've never really been that kind of buffhead type, the gym bra buffhead type, I guess. And but then I guess after that first week of being there and to see that it actually had a real family vibe about it, and that sort of environment kind of, it pushed me to kind of push myself more as well, and obviously watching the things that these guys go through in preparation for their fights and things like that. It was just absolutely amazing, man. It just, I was astonished at and I guess the things that they could put their bodies through over such a short period of time, and still be able to come out and firing on all cylinders, and the diets that they got to put themselves through, weight cuts and things like that. Like it's insane. And but it was mainly that family environment, man. It was like from the get go. It's been, I mean, the owner, every time the owner comes into the building, it doesn't matter if he knows you or not, he'll walk around, shake everyone's hand, say what's up, ask how you're doing, that sort of vibe. And he's got his little kids like running around on the mats and stuff while he's giving classes and things like that. So I guess that family vibe really resonated with me. Like, not so much the fighting side. I've always been interested in mixed martial arts. But like I said, always never really been brave enough to kind of take that step. Kind of didn't feel like a place where I guess I belonged. So I guess I was so bloody out of shape, and obviously with being out of shape, obviously comes low self-confidence, low self-esteem, that sort of stuff, and all those kind of demons were kind of floating around in my head as well. So it never actually pushed me to take that step. But then obviously through doing boot camp and just plugging away at it, getting to a point where I could start seeing results, getting comfortable with the way that my body was feeling when I move and things like that, kind of just pushed me to take that. I was like, cool, I feel like I've come pretty far at this point. Now I need to, what's my next goal here? Can I, is this something you've been interested, take that step over here? And I guess it was an easy transition for me, because like my boot camp trainers, also take like some of the jiu-jitsu classes and the wrestling classes and stuff I do as well. So, man, made that transition really easy because every time you see them, they see you putting in the work, so they put in extra work with you as well. And then through each class you attend as well, you just build up more of a rapport with the other people in the classes as well, and you start seeing each other quite regularly. What is it, 3 or 4, 5 times a week? You kind of get a good relationship going on, and it's cool, man. I've met some really good mates through this gym, and it really does. That family environment, man, is second to none, and that's why. Definitely, if you're thinking of getting into something, and you find that the gym's not for you, go do a boot camp, because a boot camp, set yourself a goal of like 10 to 12 weeks and just try to stay consistent and smash it out. Because even if you don't carry that boot camp on 10 to 12 weeks after, you're going to learn so much through that, and you're going to. You don't really need them. You don't really need that environment. You can carry that. You'll find out that a lot of it you can do on your own. You need minimal equipment, and as long as you keep consistent and lay off eating crap, then you'll definitely get the results. Yeah.
You sound like I haven't seen you for a while, man, or heard you for a while. You sound like you're a changed man, and it's
I feel like a different person, eh?
Yeah.
Like, I used to be, I guess, in my early 20s and stuff. I was a really confident person, and then I guess throughout the past, was it 16 years or so, kind of the old dad bod started creeping in, and I used to tell people, I've got 3 kids, so that's 3 allocations of dad bod that I'm entitled to. It's crazy, because like I look back now, and it's funny, like how, I mean, it's such a mental game, I guess, because I guess whenever I looked in the mirror, I never saw a problem. Like I kind of see what I see now, But at the same time, when I look at photos and I see the difference, like just how much less of my face there is, and I guess the rest of me, and when you start wearing like smaller shirts and things like that, and holding up your old shirts, and they're freaking like sheets and flapping in the wind and stuff. So it is a big mental game, because you'll kind of carry on for a long time thinking you're okay, thinking what you're seeing in the mirror is normal, but realistically it's not what other people are seeing. And although it should only really matter to you, like it's crazy that the way that I guess your mind can kind of mask that, and
that's
on to
like
hold things side by side.
With you saying, you've got 3 kids, and so you've got 3 allocations for a dad bod. That's, I look at that, I mean, it's funny, but I think a lot of males, we use humor as trying to mask our insecurities, I think.
Yeah.
And that's and that's it is, and that's one thing as well, being a dad. I think what you're doing now is setting a really good example. That's the way I see, that's the way I see. I've always had some kind of physical fitness in my life, whether it's the gym or CrossFit or playing sport. That's always been something there for me, and it's probably really good for your mental. Like you keep on talking about your mental game and your fogginess. It's probably the best thing for your mental fitness. Your mental health is fitness, because you are pushing yourself. Like you've pushed yourself through however many barriers. Without, at the start of the year, you probably couldn't even think, where you'd be in October, of the same year, so you've, now, how's it been with your kids now? How's your energy levels with your kids? Because you're talking like you're, I don't think I've heard you speak I've heard you talk a lot some nights out, but the way that you talk, you're talking with this confidence. You've got this. You feel it's amazing. You've got this confidence within yourself. And how's your energy levels with your kids? How's that changed from last year to this year? Have you noticed anything?
Oh yeah, totally, bro. Totally. It's funny. It's funny you say that. it's massively changed. Like yes, I'm always super enthusiastic to kind of get them off their bloody tablets and out of the house. These days, kind of try and mask trips over to the school with like many little boot camp sessions for them as well. You know, turning like bear crawls into a game, that sort of stuff. So yeah, man, no, man, bundles of energy these days to kind of run around with them, and yeah, and I guess it gives you a lot more kind of patience around those things as well when you know when they kind of don't listen and you know you don't kind of fly. I guess I could have a short fuse in the past where I feel like that fuse has been extended a fair bit. Maybe it's because I'm exhausted half the time and want to kind of put the effort into just having the fun times with them as well. So it's been massive, man. I'm a big advocate for like, you know, whenever I see my kids and whenever we hang out like that, we go out and do something or just get outside and get amongst it.
That's perfect, man. I think you're really sort of setting like I heard the word legacy, like, you know, or not legacy, but more of like if they see you, especially if you take them to the gym or whatever it is, if they see you doing this, it's sort of this is normal life. This is what we do, you know. And you doing bear crawls out at the park or whatever. Well, this is what This is what we do, and then that'll sort of roll on from there. Saying it's making it part of their lifestyle as well, which is, and plus your reading as well. Your reading's really changed and everything like that. So you're ticking some boxes, man.
No, yeah, you're exactly right, bro. You're exactly right. I mean, I guess I want to be the best version of myself. I guess by the time I'm 40, and that's and my kids are the driver behind that. You know, I want them to see me making you know better decisions around what I do and see me doing things that obviously that they can do as well, and hope that it rubs off on them for sure. You know, and yeah, and then let's be real, like it's a tablet generation these days where they're walking around like zombies, and the minute you take it off them, they explode and things like that. So to kind of get them away from all that rubbish for periods of time and stuff is priceless as well.
That's awesome, mate. Now, how often do you get to have the kids? How often? What's your
what's the situation? So my kids live full time with their mother. They just live over the hill from me. And I just really just chime in or take them when she needs a break. We haven't really got anything set in stone around that. So
just making it work.
Just make it work. And because my ex, she works in town, and Lincoln still goes to daycare, which is based in town as well. So he'll go with her every morning, and then I'll take the girls start school around about 7:30 before school care and stuff. So I'll take them to school and stuff. So and then I said it's pretty good because I see them pretty much every day, and which has been good, obviously for a bit of continuity for them and just chime in when Crystal needs breaks and nights out with the girls and things like that, or if she's got loads and stuff. So I'm obviously going to look at probably change it up once Lincoln starts school, because I guess the biggest thing about doing a 50-50 sort of situation would have been, because he's got to go into town with her anyway. It was just like it just wasn't going to work. So, and it also seemed unfair to kind of, if I just took the two girls, to kind of split them up and things like that, because I'd rather they stay together. So we just make it work as much as we possibly can, bro.
Awesome, man. It sounds like it's working for now, but it sounds you two are pretty intelligent. You'll definitely work out as you go, man. So that's awesome. It sounds like you're in a good place yourself personally, and you're spending time with the kids, and that's really good, man. Now, this career of yours, every time I think of you and work, I think this guy is not working. He's having too much fun to be working. Now, tell me about your job. I won't call it a job. Do you call it a job?
Oh,
Is it a
mate,
job?
it's a job, man.
Yeah.
Job.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
So
definitely.
tell me about it. Who do you work for? What's
Yeah. I work for an Australian company. We're in the alternative transport sector. Little company called Evolve Skateboards. Our market is electric skateboarding, man, and yeah, it's been a fun ride for the past what's it been just over 2 years now. I've worked for them. I run their New Zealand operation. And yeah, it's not all riding skateboards and fun times, man. Definitely, there are some, the retail side of it, dealing with customers, and that's definitely had its moments. And just I guess around supply as well, because all good things come from China, mate. And this past year's was at us in regards to supply from there. So it's a great job, man. I was an avid user of the product before I kind of signed up to working with them. I was before then I was running a distribution center for they were known as the Just Group. So they've got 7 brands under them, like Just Jeans, JJ Smiggle, Peter Alexander, Jackie E, to name a few. But yeah, I was running that. I was running that distribution center. I was 2IC, and it was a good job. I had to deal with a lot of people and a lot of stress and really really tight budgets. I guess I say they had what was it, champagne taste on a Coca-Cola budget, mate. But I really didn't like a lot of the things that I saw there in the way that the staff were treated. I'm working with people who are twice my age who have been there like 25 years and still on earning 20 bucks an hour, things like that. And it was I guess when I go into jobs I like to feel like I can make a difference and stuff. And it kind of got to a point with that job where I realized I couldn't really make that difference to these people. One they needed to want to do more, but these people were just happy kind of coming in, plugging away, collecting their paycheck once a month. And not only that, management just seemed so against kind of lifting these people up. So I kind of didn't like where I was at there. An opportunity came up. I used to go on lots of group rides and stuff at the local e-skate community, and got to know a lot of people. And then an opportunity arose in New Zealand where the community basically grown so big that they wanted to support their customers more by opening an on-site service center, but would also do distribution and our online sales out of there as well. So they need someone to run that. So I put my head in the ring and came out on top there. It was a little bit of a, obviously had to convince the missus at the time that they haven't going to skateboard company. It was kind of like the same sort of convincing I had to do when I actually bought my first skateboard. You want to spend like $1,500 on a what? So
let me live?
yeah. But the place has changed my life. It's I really like it because it's a global company, based out of Gold Coast, Australia, but it's also it's got that family company vibe. It's not. I've worked in corporates before, man, and just you actually feel like you're an integral part of the machine rather than just another number. So I've really enjoyed my time with Evolve. Used to get before all this COVID nonsense, used to get a couple of jaunts over to the Gold Coast and stuff. But yeah, I don't think we'll be going to that Christmas party this year.
One of those Zoom.
Zoom.
Yeah, they're exciting. Awesome, man. Now, how big is the e-skate? So I'm old, man. I know you've brought the board to the batch, and you're freaking cool. But how big is the community? I've seen you on your stories, IG story or Facebook stories, cruising around.
Yeah.
How big's the community? Or what do you do? Just like go for big rides, or how's it work?
Yeah, pretty much, man. Like so we've got like a local ambassador, and he usually puts on a lot of the bigger rides, I guess. And he basically just, Facebook, social media, just puts a post up. Hey, we've got a group ride going on. It's happening in this area at this particular time on this date. And you'll check a little map up of where it is and how, and I guess the distance where it's going to be, because you want to try and be as inclusive as possible. And yeah, man, we get like 50 riders basically come to these rides, and it's quite surreal. You kind of, because there's so many of you, you kind of just take over the streets, and then well, at the end of it, usually go for like 15k rides, and then at the end of it, we'll just have a few catch up at a bar for a few beers and a few snacks. Especially when like the owners come over, they like to really get amongst the community as well. Really personable guys. So yeah, they'll put on group rides as well, and then just shout a few beers and snacks at the end of it, just to say thank you to the community for all its support and stuff. So I think I've definitely watched it grow over the years, and especially just by watching boards move out the door, mate, like as well, like it's nuts the way the things move, for like potentially 2.5k per unit. Especially over lockdown. That first lockdown, mate, I feel like I saved a few marriages out there, providing some sanity for a bit of a wife alone time, I guess.
Do you feel like that you're a big part of creating that culture in New Zealand?
Yeah,
with the part that you've taken?
Yeah, for sure. I guess, well, we've kind of got a monopoly in the sense where it's like we have no other competition out there, and if there is competition, everything's based offshore. So I guess what a lot of people look for when handing over that money is like, am I gonna have support? And then that's what we provide. Like, we'll give you, award-winning customer service, award-winning support, and just basically, go out of our way for you as much as we possibly can, and then people really respond to that, rather than just having a
take the money sort of thing, and away you go.
Cry about having to come over from the North Shore, mate. It's just on the other side of the Harbour Bridge, if you know Auckland. But any other company, you'd have to send that thing back to either China or the States or anything like that. So when you take all consideration, man, it's definitely been a game changer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I feel it has definitely helped immensely.
Sure. Nice. You sound like I don't know. You're just killing it at the moment, man. You just
right, one day at a time, man.
One day at a time. I like it. Now, with your new sort of found love of fitness, do you think that's something that you'd sort of pursue, or you just like that as just your lifestyle, and your work, your career is your career, and just sort of keep that there? Because just from chatting to you, man, you've definitely got something there. Like, you talk about family, you've everything you're involved in has some sort of family connection to it, like the company that you work for, the gym that you go to. Do you think that I don't know. I'm just thinking, do you think you'll be staying where you are with your career? You're happy there, or are you sort of, now that you're sort of in with your fitness, do you think that you could sort of do something along those lines? Or
I mean, it's funny to say that. It's definitely crossed my mind. Like, I like that whole PT vibe of boot camp, like trainers and things like that. I mean, it's not overly hard what they do, but what they do is so important, and just pushing and getting results out of people and getting results for people as well. So that drive, it's always been a big part of my life as well, like in the careers that I do. It's just trying to basically help people kind of their lives and stuff. Like, my own life might be falling to pieces, behind these eyes and stuff, but if I can make a difference in someone else's life, then that's massive. So yeah, man. I guess not. For now, I'm gonna plug away at the electric skateboard thing for a bit longer. But yeah, no, the old personal training thing definitely crossed my mind.
I can tell. That's why I asked.
learning a bit more about that side of it, or even just I guess little things like I guess over summers and things like that. Like I've kind of like I've got my brother Ethan. He's he's a big lad. He's a big lad days, and kind of trying to push him and encourage him as well to kind of just obviously don't need to make any big changes, but just start making some changes and stuff. Because when you get to when you start going past like 150, 160 and stuff like that, man, it's a long road back. And I know the pain that I've gone through to lose the 35 plus odd kgs that I have. You can only imagine how to if you stack another 20 to 30 on top of that. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's
like in the future, I guess maybe getting instead of just laying around over summer and stuff. After we overindulge or smash out a few boot camps at the batch in the morning, bro, that sort of thing. No, it's definitely piqued my appetite for it for sure.
That's what I've noticed as well. Like when you are sort of amongst, that fitness sort of thing, you see people who have been in your position as well, like your brother and things like that, and you kind of know it's a tough sell because you kind of know it's the best thing for them, but you don't want to be telling them this would be the best thing for you. You've got to want them to do it, and you'll know that what they get from it will outweigh whatever it'll change their life pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, totally, bro. And the thing is, people just want instant results and they get fit quick, freaking cure. But like, there is none, man. It's all hard grind, bro. And I know, like, obviously, I used to talk to you and always be fascinated about you and your CrossFit side of things. And always, I think year after year, tell you, oh yeah, look at getting into it. Look at you never actually made that step. But it's just the hardest part's just starting, man.
Yeah.
You can get through that first week and actually find some aspects of it and that you enjoy or find a little change over that week in yourself, then I definitely reckon it drives you to carry on and stuff. So just start. That's the thing most of all. Just do something for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's it. And I think you're right, like finding the right people as well, finding the right gym, finding the right boot camp or whatever it is. I think you've just got to go with what you're comfortable with, but don't get too comfortable. You got to make sure that there's that push, because a lot of PTs or whatever, it's just sort of, don't want to upset you because they don't want to lose your business, so they just let it, not push yourself. But you want that good thing of being pushed to do something that you didn't think you'd be able to do, and then when you do it, far out, man, that's unbelievable. It's brilliant. Some of the shit that you do when you're amongst it is, you look back and go, fuck, I didn't realize this was possible, and it's good for your confidence, good for your mental health.
Oh,
and
totally.
yeah, absolutely. So that's fine. You're killing it, man. So how with your family life, like the way it is and things like that, how are you going, like mentally? Like, do you think, like, how do you think that you're coping with your situation? Do you think that you're coping it better than you would have if you didn't decide to go to the gym, or if?
Oh yeah, bro, totally. The difference between, I guess, myself in the last 6 months of last year, and then to the first 6 months of this year, definitely. It's I was in a pretty bad place at the end of last year, and just it's just helped give me a lot of clarity, I guess. And like I said, and just being around all these other people kind of driving and pushing me, and it's totally right what you say. You need to be like pushed out of your comfort zone and stuff, and I feel like I've done that a lot this year, and kind of and within that, I guess it's good that I found that environment where I can branch out into other areas as well. So like you said, you don't want to get too comfortable. So that's why I'm like, yeah, cool. I took up wrestling and stuff. Never really wrestled in my life, apart from hanging out at the back doing people's elbow, the backyard or your brothers, So a few stone cold stutters here and there.
Yeah,
but,
that was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, and you just get schooled over and over again. I'm just getting my ass handed to me like every night.
There's definitely something in that, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I learned more from that.
Yeah.
Than I do from, I guess. Yeah, you go through the drills and stuff. It's not until you feel them applied on you, and then you're like, in a situation that you're like, yeah, all right, I know. You kind of see where you went wrong there. You're like, helps you kind of see it a bit clearer. But yeah, definitely, I'll get to the point where I'm applying those freaking chokeholds, man. I'll get there.
That's the thing. Like I was gonna take Talon to do jiu-jitsu just to mix it up, and but due to the lockdown and everything like that sort of went by the wayside. But I just want to, I think I need that. I think I need the ego hit as well, because I'm not that. I just want to be told I'm not that good. Like, I am a beginner at this, and I'm just there's something about it. And once I knew that you were doing it, I'm like, fuck yes, because I'm excited for you because I wanted to do it too. So it was, there's definitely something about it, man. But
get amongst it, bro. I mean, I guess long term with this, I want to. I mean, at the moment, I'm just a little white belt. So first goal at the moment is get a couple of stripes on that belt, and then
everyone started white belt, huh?
That's right. White belt. That's right. Good, so good. But it's just plug away, get a couple of stripes on there. And then, I don't know, see how we go next year, and might look at doing a couple of competitions and stuff as well. Just as,
wrestling or jiu-jitsu?
Probably more jiu-jitsu, just as a little bit of the side goal there for that. So, man, I wouldn't mind. So, not getting any younger either. So, they're doing now for the limbs start seizing up. You have to have a new injury every week these days. Yeah.
I'll tell you a secret, man. Once I hit 40, like I was your age and I was like going all right. Then once I hit 40, I don't know if it was a mental switch, like telling my body, okay, I'm 40 now, I can start shutting it down. But some of the injuries that I was getting was just shit. So just keep the body fit, man. Keep the body fit, because if you're unfit hitting, it's a struggle. I will admit that now. I was 2 years in denial, probably 40, 41. Nah, I'm good. Still training hard and trying to keep up with these youngsters. But then I was just getting my shoulders and then my back, and then it was just like, fuck. It's and then I'm training with Khan, and he's I'm like, fucking. It's just it gets tough, but just stick at it. Once CrossFit gets back, Tali and I are looking at getting back into it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be right. And she's like, you're not young anymore. You can just sort of relax. So, but so with your kids, you think you'll get them into doing some sort of martial arts?
Yeah, man. Oh, it's definitely something I want to do. Unfortunately, the time of the kids' class is pretty much the same time that I finish work, so it's just it's tough to kind of fit it all into the schedule. But I reckon kids, man, it's definitely something kids should do. Like it teaches them so much, and just, I guess, fundamentals. I mean, most fights will always end up on the ground, So if you're a few tips and tricks to help you avoid some of those sticky situations and stuff, then man, kids should get amongst it.
And a lot of people who can fight don't fight. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So it would sort of teach them that discipline as well.
Yeah, that's right, man. And you know, and find a gym as well like that, because I've watched a few of the kids classes and stuff, and like, you know, there's a massive emphasis on fun. Like, it almost doesn't look like training while they're doing it and stuff, but it's amazing what they pick up. And yeah, it's definitely something I'd love to get my kids into. I think I walked in, was it a couple of Fridays ago, and I was about to go to a wrestling class, and it was like these tiny, oh man, probably like they were like the size of Piper. She's still quite small, quite lean, and this little girl comes out. She's got these like little wrestling boots on, and I was like, and I said to the receptionist, I was like, oh, what class is this? And she's like, I think it's just a junior wrestling class, and this little girl, like, she must have been all of about 6 or 7. She's like actually it's advanced. It's advanced junior wrestling. I'm like,
Bit of sass.
I love it.
And the good thing about it can be your thing. Like your kids, you know. That's probably one tip that I'd give. Like, as you know, your kids are at that age now where the sun shines out of you. Everything's, you know.
Yeah.
Dad's great and all that sort. But as they get older, they can sort of see behind the curtain and see that you know, Dad's got a few things he's working on, and but
totally,
you know,
bro.
if you get that have that thing, and then if you can try and carry that on as far as you can, not especially with girls, I think it'll get their confidence to a spot where, you know, they have that confidence in themselves.
Yeah. Especially in today's world as well, man. There's so many,
for sure. Because
it's a scary place for kids these days, and you know, and obviously having a couple of girls yourself, you know, you worry about the world that they're heading into, growing up and stuff. Like, I see some of these girls that put themselves on the likes of Tinder and whatnot and stuff like that, and I'm just like, Jesus, like, it's someone's daughter, and that's the way she chooses to carry herself online, things like that. So I guess, kind of instilling those values and sort of a bit of discipline into them around that sort of thing would definitely be good, because and then just being able to protect themselves as well, because there are a lot of unfortunately, as much as, you know, we love the world we're in, there are a lot of bad people out there, man. And
that's it.
And obviously how you know, you don't want to obviously be living on the edge all the time, but, you know, a little bit of preparation goes a long way, and making those experiences either positive or negative. So
that's the way that I've sort of been going down, is some sort of physical physical work, you know, whether it be Taylor sort of did CrossFit for a bit, but she plays a lot of sport as well. And what I've noticed is, because of lockdown, there's no basketball, there's no sport at all. Our season's been called off. So, and just her confidence in herself is, I don't know if it's an age thing or it's just sort of shot, you know. And it's really hard to watch. And there's nothing. That's one thing that I've really hated about this sort of lockdown thing, was the lack of sport, the lack of, you know, no sort of movement, and trying to get her up to work out is just, I can't. It's, you know, it's going to be a slow sort of long grind to sort of get it back to where it was, because she was so confident in herself. And girls are, you know, the hardest judges of themselves as well.
Yeah, totally.
So
bro.
no, you definitely do that. And, you know, with jiu-jitsu as well, she's still keen to do it as well.
She would kill it, bro. Like, I mean, I've seen how fit Taylor is, and, you know, I used to watch some of the mini workouts that she'd pump out with you and stuff. Like, she's got the right frame and frame for it as well. So,
you should see Harlem as well, man. She's like this spider monkey, man. She'll be awesome. And I want Khan to get into it as well. He needs to be just taking down a few pegs as well. That's one thing that we're, you know, 16, 17-year-old boys, you know, full of testosterone.
Getting quite tall, mate. You know, maybe Muay Thai would be a bit of fit.
You know, just anything. Instead of trying to fight his old man. because he's getting pretty strong there, man. So yeah, that's what I want really is to have something like that that'll sort of burn off that testosterone and give them some sort of a mindset as well. Because at the moment with the way that they're going, and I've got a lot of his mates as well. I used to coach his footy through football. Yeah, they're just without any guidance or any sort of I don't know, anything to sort of build resilience. They've got nothing going. They've just given everything. So, and they've, not working for anything. It's a really tough age, man. It's a really tough age. But, yeah, definitely things like, physical exercise and some sort of, martial art. It's not it's not the total answer. There's also has to be a lot of communication and talk, which that's one thing I've got to be working on. I always play sport. Let's go, and I'll take them to all these sports and things like that. But I wasn't talking to them, so that's one thing. Is that I have to sort of pick up now is because we've got no sport and we've got a bit of a home gym here, but it's the communication, and that's the tough bit. And the more, if I look back now, I should have done it when they were your kid's age and just kept it going. But, you think everything's fine and it's all cool and you're sort of, dealing with your own things as well. Time slips by, man. Time slips by.
Yeah. We all lead bloody busy lives and stuff, you know, and there's definitely not enough hours in the day.
Yeah,
it's hard enough to get bloody a good 8 hours sleep. What's that? Jeez.
Yeah, well, that's it. But I think that's one thing I've learned from this lockdown is that, you've got to put more energy into the people under your roof, man. And it's starting with yourself, which I think, you've done the work there, and then working on those kids, and just because we've all got things that we've got to work on, man, and we've all got darknesses, and we've all got things hiding. You said earlier about, helping others, even though your life is falling apart. I think you're in the right mindset to make this a positive. That's what I'm saying. If you're not happy with yourself, things around you, it'll take a strain. So I think, what you're doing at this point in time, it might change tomorrow, but what you're doing now is a freaking credit to you and to Crystal and your young family, man. You've just made a decision.
Oh, it had to be done, man. Everything has a flow-on effect, like you said, and the way that you feel in yourself obviously projects to those around you, whether it be negative or positive. So, you feel good about yourself, you project positive vibes to others, and I guess it was probably a big part of my relationship falling apart was probably based around that as well. How I honestly put self-care to the side that much that I'd basically lost kind of sight of who I was and was just unhappy, and for that I projected that upon my family as well. So just got to start. Just got to find what it is about you that makes these things happen, and just kind of come up with a solution to make a change, really. So bro. But hey, we're all human, like you said. Everyone's got their demons and the dark sides and things like that. But you just gotta keep plugging away at it. Find your happy space within yourself, and then once you find that, it's only going to get better for those around you. Sure.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And it's probably a good thing to sort of end on.
Yeah.
I think you've inspired me to go out and do some push-ups, man. No, you're real. It's been a great chat, man. I wasn't expecting this. I had a list of other stuff, but I think that what you've been doing over this year is enough. I've been trying to do these things to help dads, just show that just if you're going through some stuff, that other people are going through some stuff, and they may be a bit further back along the way, and they're successful and they've done well, and there might be people sort of behind us who need that help. But I'm just trying to talk to different fathers, different dads with different stories, man. And I think your story will inspire, as many people as it reaches, and that's good, man. And I really, man, I wish we were seeing you this summer, man. We've booked our tickets and everything like that, but I don't think we're going to be able to get out of this country, man. No one wants us.
Yeah. Oh, bro, you guys come for long enough, you quarantine, but you'd get the quarantine period smashed out easy as.
Yeah, we're veterans of that. But it's been shit house, really. It's been good. I've always tried to get the positives out of it. Like I've said, the positive and the positive with you as well is probably, not having been able to get that junk food was probably a blessing. You got to eat, so you just, it was probably really good. A good timing with a lot of things. And with me, I'm trying to get out that I'm spending a lot more time with my family, like quality time, and we're actually getting to know each other. Not just a family. We don't just share a house and drive around and yell at each other. We're actually people, and we've got, and that's the best thing that I've got out of it. But I just want to get out of here. I just want to try. We're getting a bit stir crazy, bro. But But as soon as we can, I know Tali's keen as we'll be getting over there and hitting the batch and doing all those things.
Bro. Miss you, and I miss you guys heaps, man. So yeah, hopefully it sorts itself out soon. Cause we're overdue for a bit of a catch up, bro. For sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, I'm gonna stop recording now.
All good.
Cheers, bro. I won't hang up, but I'll stop recording just in case something said. But thanks a lot again, Brenton.
No worries, man. Good work, Ezra. Love your podcast, bro. Keep it up.
Cheers, bro.